Welcome to the Cook Up. And if this is your first time that you're joining us, welcome to our Culture Mix show. It's a cook up of the ICH domains. And today's domains are oral traditions and expressions and the performing arts. And this takes place during our festive events or community festivals, Culturama and Sugar Mass. My name is Alicia Daniel Blake. I am the Research and Communications Officer at Cultural Heritage. And it's my pleasure to invite you to be part of our program today. And we have a very interesting assistant chef with us today. And you can also check us out on social media to see our previous shows. On Facebook, we are at SKNICH. On Instagram, we are at Cultural Heritage SKN. And on YouTube, we are at St. Kitts Culture. As I mentioned before, we have 3 ICH domains that we will be addressing. And our assistant chef is pertaining to the element of Calypso. And he writes and he performs, and I am talking about none other than Edward Mighty J. Williams. Edward, welcome to the Cook Up.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Blake. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm great. I should ask you, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, just thanking God for life, breath, that He woke me up this morning and that I'm alive.
Yes, we all need to do that. Yes. Now, you are presently 2 monarchs.
Yes.
You are the monarch of the Junior Calypso secondary segment of the Sugar Mass.
Yes.
And you're also the Junior Calypso monarch of Culturama.
Yes, I am.
Now, that is amazing.
Yes, it is.
So, before we go any further, let's have a look at this clip that is from the Sugar Mass Junior Calypso show and see exactly what you did on that show.
Yes, indeed.
Girls that in deep in need, no respect for themselves. Something is wrong as a nation. We keep falling flat. Something is wrong as a nation. How do we get it well back? Murderers and a rampage. For the crime and violence we cry. Many are my aid. Falling victims to senseless crime. This is the time to sound the choir. This is the time to send a prayer to the sky. This is the time to wave a trumpet bye-bye. This is the time to tell our leaders that we are going astray. This is
Now, lovely Edward, that was you in action. But you know something? I have to say something about how you're dressed today.
Oh,
You look so handsome
Thank you
and
very much.
charming.
Yes.
I
thank you
love
very
your
much.
full outfit, especially the shoes.
Well,
Cook Up
You know?
connoisseurs, do you see that? That is what I call a well-dressed young man.
that's true. That's true.
All right. So you like to be well put out.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
And so then I'm going to ask you about your stage performance. Was that your first time performing on stage? Because that didn't look so to me.
No, it was not. From a very young age, I perform on many big stage, but in times I feel very nervous. But that's what I was built for. So
Yes.
that's
And
what
you
I
know
would
what?
do.
They actually say even some of those huge performers like Beyonce, they get stage fright.
Yes, I do.
And so some of them put on another personality, as they
Yes.
say, to be on stage. So that's quite normal. It shows that you want to do your best.
Yes.
Now, what was the message in that song?
The message in that song was to tell all of the leaders to help us make a change. Like, especially for the crime and the violence, it's going on for too long now, and I think people are losing their lives over simple stuff, and I think that needs to stop.
All right. Oh, I like the fact that, it is something that each of us can do because you use the thing that you like, which is Calypso,
Yes.
to send the message. That is
Yes.
definitely social commentary. Now, what do you think gave you the edge in that show?
Well, my performance, my personality, and my stage presence. And so, I've learned to connect with the audience, with the judges, and with myself because first I must sing to myself before I perform to others because the song and the meaning towards the song must mean something to me before I bring it to you know my country or St. Christopher Nevis or my world and so forth.
I love it. And you know why I love it? Because there's a part near the end of the song where you actually came off the stage, you sat down on the edge of the stage, I
Yes,
should say,
yes.
and you actually were singing the song to the
Yes,
audience
yes, I
directly,
was.
up close and personal.
Yes.
So I see what you mean when you say that.
Yes.
Now, why did you choose Calypso? And is something else like Soca Next or is Calypso?
Well, right now, Calypso makes me feel at home, and I don't think I'm going anywhere now. And also, I love storytelling, and in school, I've chosen the subject theater art because it flows in performance and culture, and calypso and theater art is in the same bracket. So yes, it's a part of my performance and culture, and but I also enjoy soca,
Okay.
but the gospel one. But for now, I'll keep going in calypso.
Nice.
Yes,
Love
yes.
it. And why did you choose that stage name of Mighty J?
Well. Mighty reminds me of how brave I am, how bold I am, and that I can face anything during storms or trials. And the J stands for joy, journey, and justice. And I am also a junior because of my father. My father's name is Edward Claxton, and my name is Edward Williams. So, I am a junior. So
Lovely.
that's it. Yes.
Okay, good. So, Cook Up Connoisseurs, I hope you realize that this young man puts thought into everything that he is referring to. He didn't just come up with the name out of thin air. Okay. Now, have you written any of your own songs?
Yes, I have. My first time becoming a monarch in Nevis 2024, I write my own song, and I'm writing this one for this year's Culturama competition. And so yes, it wasn't always easy, but as I've learned to put words together and not only have them rhyming, but have a message so that as I sing it can be powerful and straightforward.
Lovely. And that's what you told us previously as well, that it
Yes.
has to mean something to you.
Yes.
So if you write it yourself,
Yes, it has
it
to mean
definitely
it
means
has to,
something to
yes.
you. That is very good because we know several of the young Calypsonians and the seniors also don't write their own
Yes.
songs. All right. So tell me, what was it like winning at Sugar Mass?
The experience was awesome, but I must be truthful and honest. I must say that I know I would have won, even though things could happen before the results. But I think I did my best. Every last one of us did our best, but I think I put my 2 foot forward and I went
Lovely.
straight forward, and I show them that I not only can sing, but I can perform and I can, push my message forward to young people and adults also.
Wonderful. Edward, that's a great point for us to take a quick break. So, cook up connoisseurs, we'll be right back.
On the shelf. But she realizes there's no label on the package. No name, no ingredients, nothing at all. Lila remembers the importance of food labels, and that according to the labeling regulation for prepackaged food, all products must be labeled properly. They decide to tell the store manager about it. The manager appreciates Lila's observation. Lila feels proud for helping keep everyone safe. Remember, labels help us shop smarter and safer.
Welcome back to the Cook Up. I have a special guest with me, and we have a two monarch king for the junior Calypso shows in Culturama and in Sugar Mass, and his name is Edward Mighty J. Williams. Edward, let's have a look at this other clip now and see some of the other types of singing that you do.
Yes.
Come on, yeah. Vice versa love. To other boy. Put down all the love. The only ammunition we need is love. Love forever.
Now look at that. Edward, that was not Calypso, definitely not
No,
Calypso.
it was not.
In fact, that was something from one of the persons, the stars who were here for the last
Yes.
music festival,
Yes.
right? Barrington Levy.
Yes.
Vice versa, love. Now, do you do that type of singing often as well?
Well, I mostly sing gospel music, but I sing at funerals, weddings, and other events, and so different songs comes in different environment for that particular event.
Oh, I love it. So, which one is your favorite to sing?
Gospel.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, it goes back to the meaning.
Yes.
How do you warm up your voice?
Honestly, I have to say I don't often warm up, but if I'm going to perform or sing, especially if the song has high notes, then I have to practice. But it's just how I was made. Is like I could go and sing anywhere without warming up, but it's best to warm up in case of
So
anything can
you're
happen.
saying you're natural.
Yes, I am.
So you mentioned that you began singing at an early age. About how old were you?
3 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
You sang in church?
Yes.
Okay.
My first time leading worship as well. I was 3 years old at the Apostolic Faith Church in Sandy Point, and from there, that's when I moved forward and I went straight forward.
Okay. Lovely. Do you have any mentors?
Yes, I do have some, especially in Calypso, such as the Awesome Navigator, Queen Independent, Mr. Edwards Vickel Douglas, Miss Ebony Freeman, and Kamal. Those persons, they help me and shape me in this Calypso industry, and for that I'm grateful, especially when I'm doing something wrong. You say, no, do this, no, you don't do that, and for that I'm very, very grateful.
Okay, lovely.
Yes.
And give me an experience that you had because of Calypso.
It takes me further than how I expected, and it's giving me more opportunities to be out there to help someone along the way, to share my experience, my struggles to others, to help motivate them, and to help these young people understand that things just don't come that way. You have to push towards it and push towards your destiny in your future.
Lovely.
Yes.
Now, you said it has enabled you to expand, go
Yes.
places.
Yes.
Has it caused you to travel? Because I don't consider Nevis travel because
Yes.
we're one
Yes,
federation.
you're one.
Has it taken you anywhere?
Well, not as yet, but um, in this year I'm supposed to be traveling to do some singing, and so it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning, yes.
It's just the beginning. So, in terms of Calypso, then, this is your first winnings in it? Or you've won at the school level before?
Well, my first time entering was 2023 at my school, Charles Emil's Calypso, and I placed first runner up. And so I went in the Culturama Carnival 2023, and I placed first runner up again. And then 2024, I went to Culturama and became Monarch. And then in that same year, I went to Carnival and became Monarch again.
Almost sound as if you were saying, not first for me again. So, for connoisseurs, we'll be right back.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to the Sinkers Craft House. This is where life begins, and what we create will leave you speechless. We train, we create, we promote, and we maintain the highest standards. Experience life for yourself. The premier craft and production facility in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Welcome back, Hookup Connoisseurs. We have with us a very serious young man. But of course, he's young, so he still likes to have fun. You like to have fun still, right?
Yes.
But what I meant is some of the things that he's been saying are quite serious in the sense that he has put thought into what he's talking about. Now, what was it like winning in Culturama, considering that you're from St. Kitts? Did you take your fans over to Nevis?
Yes, I did. A couple of them came over on the boat with me, and some of them were also my helpers. And it was a wonderful experience to win, especially my first time. And honestly, I have to say that all these years, Nevis, they comes down and they won and still winning Nevis, and so I said to myself, let me go up and try a thing, and indeed I came out victorious. And so I changed the boundaries. And so that was indeed quite joyful for me, and it was a time. It was a time.
It was like you're saying, now it's my chance.
Yes.
And as you're quite correct, because I understand Invincible was one of those who also held the 2 crowns as well. And you mentioned a young lady?
Shanti. Yes.
Shanti also held the 2 crowns. And
Yes.
both of them are from Nevis.
Yes.
So it's saying it's still now.
Yes.
Okay. So how can Calypso be made more attractive to young people? Because I know with my children in particular, they'll be like, Mommy, I don't want to listen to Calypso.
Well, you see, as you just say, young people intend to think that Calypso is for old people, but it's not necessarily for old people. It's for all walks of life, any age. But what I think now in this time, which would mix the old music and the old tradition with this modern day music and tradition, so that when young people listen now, it's like it won't be old to them, because they are also hearing the modern music and the modern tradition also in it. And so we can also help with that with social media to promote it, to make good memes, to make reels, to make videos, and even include Calypso in schools, social community, social events, and youth events also, and help them to understand that if even though you're finding it hard to learn your culture and your history, you can put it into song.
Nice.
Yes.
Now, Cook Up Connoisseurs, I'm going to have to invite Edward to our next planning meeting at Cultural Heritage because he has some good advice here.
Yes.
That's right. Now, what are your personal Calypso goals?
My first one is to get more young people involved in it, because we need the young people to get more involved in these stuff, instead of giving them a tablet while they're young age, or giving them a spliff or a gun, or those sort of stuff that can sidetrack them from what their destiny is about. And if we continue to support the art form and add a touch to Calypso, it can reach global audience and be inspiring to all over this world.
I love it.
Yes.
Cook Up Connoisseurs, we are now going to take a quick pause as we go into our seasoning mix. Our upcoming events at Cultural Heritage include the continuation of our visits to seniors, and that is going to take place in Tabernacle on Tuesday, July 29th. And what we do is we go out and we discuss with our seniors in terms of our plants, what uses they have, what they're good for, whether it's medicinal, whether it's for fruit, whether it's for pain. We discuss all of that with them. And then we also talk about our cultural sayings. And believe me, there's a lot of things that I have learned that I did not know. For example, there was one that said something like, when you catch your cold, go spit it. And that one was for when the older persons in the family found out that the young daughter was pregnant, they would tell her, go back, go look for the man who got you pregnant. Right? So that was a new one for me. And then on that same day, we are also going to have folklore training on networking. And that date, same day, Tuesday, July 29th, is going to be in Minister Duggan's conference room at Port Zante. And that is especially for our folklore performers. So folklore performers, remember, mark the date. It starts at 5 p.m. And on this occasion, it's going to be networking. The last one was on marketing, and that one was by Yarini Morton. And this one, the facilitator is going to be Sharon Rattan. So look out for that. And then, young people, we also have our ICH Core Knowledge Transfer Camp coming up. It takes place from Monday, August 11th to the 15th. And if you may have recalled from our previous shows, this camp is especially for young people 7 to 15. And we are dealing with the folklore performances that are at risk of dying. So we want to make sure that we have a young crop of young people who know how to dance the folklore. And so we are looking at things like actors, the St. Peter's actors. We are looking at things like clowns and just the traditional clown dance. Not the belly out clown like what we see now, but the traditional clown dance where they go down and they show us how to do it properly, and they open their arms and you see all that beautiful material flowing between there. We also have mummies, which is a form of theater, and they talk about the black heroes in Europe. And of course, we have the Macajumbis. And you would have seen all of these at the last junior parade. So we have a session in summer and then we have another one in December. And we cannot forget the string band. Because remember, traditionally, all of these folklore perform the string band music. And so we want to bring that back as well. Now, Edward,
Yes,
I am
please.
back to you.
Yes.
Now, you said you're working on something for Culturama.
Yeah.
You think you could give us a little taste? Or you want to keep that?
I'll say I could give you an inch.
An inch?
Inch. Give you an inch.
Yeah, give us an inch.
Let me see which part I could start with. We still await for every mother who weeps in vain. How long she gonna wait for this change? The change I go smile, not cry in pain. Still await, but never again. Time to stand, time to reclaim.
Edward, we look forward to hearing you in Culturama, and let us see if you bring it back home again.
If it's God's will. Yes,
Okay,
it's God's
that's
will.
an excellent way to end
Yes.
this show. So, Cook Up connoisseurs, thank you for your patience. We know we didn't exactly start at the time we intended, but we had a few technical issues. But bear with us, because the quality of show that we brought to you today, it was well worth the wait.
Yes, it
Edward,
was.
thank you very much.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cook Up connoisseurs.
Calling
Thank
all businesses in
And
St. Kitts
as we
and
normally
Nevis.
say,
Yes, that means
Together,
you.
we can safeguard our living heritage.
Calling all businesses in St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, that means you. Whether you're a roadside vendor, a caterer, or a local producer, if you sell products, you must label them properly. The St. Kitts and Nevis Bureau of Standards wants to remind everyone that all goods sold, whether imported, homemade, or sold informally, must meet national labeling regulations by December 31st, 2025. Whether you're selling snacks, drinks, meals, or jams, your product must include key information like ingredients, expiry dates, and your contact information. These are the 3 regulations every business must follow. No exceptions. Roadside vendors with prepackaged snacks or drinks, caterers delivering meals and beverages, producers of baked goods, jams and juices, you all need to label your products properly. Businesses have until December 31st, 2025 to comply. After that, non-compliance may result in fines, seized products, or suspension of sales. Need help? We've got you. Call 467-1498, email sknbs@gov.kn, or visit www.sknbs.org and click the Regulations tab. Let's keep our products safe, trusted, and clearly labeled for everyone. Label it right by December 31st, 2025.